This is my go-to, never fail, seriously delicious chocolate chip cookie recipe. We're going to start with 10 tablespoons of softened butter, and you want it to be soft. That will help you out in the long run. You don't want it to be runny, but you want it to be extremely soft. Now, unfortunately here mine was harder than what I would have liked it to be, but you'll see what happens. From here we're going to add 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, and store-bought powdered sugar has cornstarch in it, and this cornstarch will help to give you a chewy cookie, plus it'll help to stabilize things. Now we're going to add 1 cup of brown sugar, which that will also help your cookie be nice and chewy. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're going to add 2 whole eggs, and then we're going to fit our mixer with our paddle attachment and mix this only until it's combined. For now, we're going to hold out our flour, our salt, and our chocolate chips for later. We're going to turn our mixer on low to medium, and basically, like I said, just until everything is incorporated and combined. You don't want to overwork it at this point. And how I said my butter was too cold, you can see it doesn't completely fold into this right now. You can see little chunks of it still. And if your butter was really soft, it would have folded in a little bit better. Now from here we're going to add our flour, which is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use all-purpose or you can use pastry. Both of those have a higher protein content, which will give you a chewy cookie. You don't want to use something like a cake flour, which has a very low protein content. That'll make it more crumbly and it won't really have a nice chew to it. We've added our salt, which is 1/2 teaspoon, and we're going to add a bag of chocolate chips. You can use mini, semi-sweet, milk chocolate, whatever. I think the bag is about a 12-ounce bag. And from here, there again, you don't want to overwork your flour. You get little rocks, so we're just going to let this go on a low, very low, or you'll blow flour all over the place. We're going to let it go until things start to come together like cookie dough. Now here again, if my butter was as soft as what I would like it to be, things would have already come together and it would have been a nice clump of cookie dough in there. So from here, I took it out of the mixer and just worked it a few times with a wooden spoon by hand, and it all came together very nicely. Now from this point, you're definitely ready to go, and you can scoop out your cookies. I usually scoop out portions that are a little bit smaller than a golf ball, and I'll bake them at 330 degrees for no more than 12 to 15 minutes. And I know everyone's oven is different, so a good way to tell is if they start to look like they're getting color on them, pull your sheet pan out of the oven and let the cookies continue to bake on that hot sheet pan for about 15 to 20 minutes, and this will give them a chance to set up and they'll come out just perfect. Now with a lot of cookie recipes, they'll tell you to cover your cookie dough and refrigerate it overnight before you bake it, and this gives your butter a chance to firm back up and re-solidify, and it will help you so you don't have just completely flat cookies. You can definitely do that with this recipe. It's not necessary, but if you would like to wait and bake them the next day, you're more than welcome to do that. I believe this recipe makes about 2.5 dozen cookies, and usually when I make it, I like to make extra cookie dough, and then I'll portion it up and just chunk my portions into a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag, and I throw it in the freezer, and then anytime I need cookies on the fly, I can pull out as few or as many as I need or would like, and then in just a short amount of time I can have some nice warm chocolate chip cookies to serve to a guest that may appear at my house unexpected, or to your children when they come home from school, or whomever. It's always a good time for chocolate chip cookies in my book. So I know I was a little long-winded in making my chocolate chip cookies, but you can really apply these tips and tricks to most any cookie recipe, and it'll help you achieve success when you're baking. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So as always, I appreciate you watching. I want to wish you happy baking, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Bye for now.